Good morning. All right. Coffee's just a little thin this morning. Weak. Excuse me as I get. This thing weighs a ton. Hey, Joe. Good morning. Ray. Me, I'm weak. Coffee's weak. Right. I'm going to anchor this like this because what I need to do is look at this thing and see. All right. This is where brain's got to kick in a little bit. Oops. One thing I could do that won't cause problems here so it doesn't torque like crazy. There. Because your Uzi weighs a ton. Exactly. My Uzi weighs a ton. God. The good old days of rap. Yeah, right. Ray, Joe. Tony, what's going on, brother? Yesterday was a long day. Long, I tell you. Tony, we're all yelling. Same old. Yeah. All right. Must remember, this is the thing about this is you put mask down. It's the way there's a level of dyslexia that comes with this. I'm putting a mask down. The mask that I'm putting down is the area that I want at. So I look at this area here as an example. That's all orange right there. That big area right there. Okay, I want that to remain orange. So when I put a mask down, that's where the orange is going to remain. Everything else is going to be black. There's a good likelihood this may actually look more like a tiger than a calico we'll see. We went to the Fiber Arts Festival at the Eastern States Fairground. Ooh, what is the Fiber Arts Festival? Are we talking about fiber as in like yarn rather than carbon? I don't have enough coffee to yell just yet, Ray. All right, so we're going to want... Just trying to figure out how I want to have like black kind of coming through here. Let's take a look at my photos again. All right. Now, let's see. Haven't had enough coffee yet. Knitting, crochet, yeah. All that good stuff. Plus llamas, alpaca, sheep, and rabbits. Oh, really? So they actually had the fiber creators there too. That's kind of cool. right, let's bring Kitty here. Yesterday was a remarkably busy day. I'll just shrink this a little bit. Excuse me a second, guys. Went to, as you guys know, I went to my daughter's sorority event. And met many, it was a sort of a family gathering thing. So met all the, a lot of the family members there. A section with demonstration on making thread and yarn using different types of spinning wheels. Wow. See, that would be fascinating. That's the kind of stuff I like. That mechanical process, I always find interesting. Let me just bring this thing in a little bit more. Trying to get less torque on this thing so I can actually lay down this putty. Likely I'm not going to get to painting this thing until, if I were to guess at this point, not going to get to painting this thing until Wednesday. But it was a long drive down to Connecticut. Had a fun time with my daughter. Actually, I'm going to come in like that. Yeah, that's good. Now we're going to split off. Hey, Tom, good morning. How are you? Come in a little like that. Anyway, yeah, so it was a fun time. Met a bunch of her friends, hung out with a few parents. It was a good time. Just being able to, as it's funny, I actually my daughter introduced me to the chapter president. And I said, when our daughter said that she wanted to join a sorority, our first reaction is like my wife and I scratched our heads because neither of us did that. And it wasn't sort of like a thing it's like, okay, I mean, it's her call, but still. And she said, yeah, when I did the same thing, my parents were a little surprised too. But in the end, they obviously, it was this has been a really good thing, the amount of support. And that's what I told her. It's like, I know that from her perspective, having that built-in ability to have the social adjustment to college, particularly as a freshman, reduced, has been a big plus for her. My daughter's usually, my younger daughter's always been more of the extrovert, certainly more than I am. And she does extremely well. Anybody who can go on stage and dance the way she does, I mean, you got to have some level of extroversion, right? I think that's a word. Anyway, so it was a good conversation with her talking about that, and it was a really good time. And in the end, I'm very thankful for what she's done, and I hope this continues to be a very positive thing for her. So, all good stuff. All good stuff. And I got home, had dinner with my older daughter, and after a very long day, I just kicked back and watched. Um, got back to watching the Queen's Gambit. Started watching it a couple years ago, and then just not because of a lack of interest, just got tired and moved on to something else. There's always something. Bump that in a little bit. Wish Emma was a bit more of an extrovert. You never know, Tom. I mean, the thing about my younger daughter has been that she started dancing when she was a teeny tiny thing. Gave that up, did gymnastics for a while, was being groomed for becoming part of their competitive team. And she's like, yeah, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to go back into dancing. So about 12 years ago, 11 years ago, however long it was, she got back into dancing and immediately got on to their competitive team. And she's been, I mean, it's amazing how much, look, every kid stresses out when they get on stage. And she's had she's gotten been on stage times, and it's like it hasn't been all that great. But overall, it really opened her up. And there are kids who are not going to be like that, and that's okay. My older daughter is more like me. She's more of an introvert. That's not to say any of that is right. It's not to say any of it is wrong. It's to say that it is what it is. So she had a bit more extrovert. Well, thing about kids is, in the end, they gotta move at their pace, not our pace. They gotta do what they need to do, not what we want them to do. And it's one of the hardest things. One of the hardest things that you can't force that on them, and you can't teach them that. They have to discover that for themselves. Is it's like the old saying, is the juice worth the squeeze? Not pushing her to do certain things and not be home all the time. Yeah. Well, that's, again, I understand some of that too. We certainly have conversations about that with my older daughter. But the point of it all is that they work at their pace, not at our pace. I'm going to put in a little sliver of orange right up top here. And in the end, ultimately, they make their own way. That when my older daughter turned to me and said, I think I'm going to try being on a roller derby team. I'm like, awesome. I'm going to turn this down just a little bit to eliminate some of that light from up top. There we go. That's awesome. Hey, Ken, good morning. What's going on, brother? it was wild, you know, and not just to her credit, but just just shows that, you know, for her, that going out there and doing that, she did that pretty quickly. She's like, I think I'm gonna try this, and went out there and did it. You know? Like I said, kids will find the thing that they want to do when it works for them. For a second there. Oh, for fuck's sake. It's like, this is it. It's blue tackle stick. Sometimes when you don't want it to, but when you want it to, like if you make really small noodles out of it, very hard time sometimes. Yeah. Oh, for fuck's sake. Now, of course, it's stuck to the toothpick again. You know, again, I'm just going to say this from my perspective is I'm very fortunate for, I don't have two Twinkie clones of daughters. They each have their own deals. I love that. You know, my older daughter is kind of more akin to me. And my younger daughter is more of an extrovert like her mother. There we go. That'd be cool. Again, how's her arm? Arm's healed. No problem. She's back on skates. She got back on, was it the beginning of this month? Oh, geez, no. Was it early October? Early mid-October, she got back on skates. Relearning a bunch of stuff, you know, whenever they have their sessions, she's there. Okay. Most of this down here is going to be covered. I think what I'm going to try to do. Let's see. Combine that orange, that white section. I'm going to split something off of here too. Curl this in. Kind of make it a little bit more organic, I guess is what I'm looking for. I don't know if I'm doing this right, guys. Honestly, it's like, is this going to come out okay? I hope so. I mean, I like what I'm doing so far. Truth that a broken arm didn't make her shy away from the sport. Yeah, not at all. Yeah, no, appreciate that, Nick. That's the thing. I think part of it is because it also has become a social group for her. So at that point, it was like, I need to get back. She was there Interesting. She broke her arm, and she would still go to practices even though she'd be sitting out. She couldn't do anything, and because it became the social circle for her. This here. I think we're going to go in a little bit here too. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Right in here. Oops, not there. Right there. Come on. This is going to take time, and I will be doing this. You know, I'm going to try to get to it tonight as well. I'll show you what we got so far, guys. Here in just a second. Big fan of that down there. Oh, guys don't have a set pattern, so there's no way you can mess it up. Oh well, no, I know. I don't think there is. I think it's just more a matter of just giving it. I agree, Nick, and it's funny. Sometimes you look at a few photos and you're like, oh, I got the pattern, and you look at it, it's like this is not the pattern. It's like this is like to your point. There are millions of cats of this type, and they all have their own look to them. Actually ran into some derby people at the Fiber Festival. You can't escape. You can't escape them. It's funny, actually. My daughter tells me that there are a few on the team who are what they call it, who are knitters. And in fact, my daughter also just started knitting as well. She's one of her team members is she's pregnant, and and she's knitting a blanket. My wife was walking her through how to do that. Sounds like an introvert extrovert, which is not like my wife, who's an introvert extrovert. I have no idea what the hell the difference is there, but okay. It's in Asia now that tells what level of introvert extrovert you are, and there's like 6, 7 different versions. Interesting. Huh. It doesn't really sound like an Asian thing as much as it sounds like an introvert thing. Okay, I'm going to go right into this corner right there. Just to give it a little, yeah, right there. Get a little more organic. And then this one area down here. I'll show you what we got going on here, guys, in just a second. You know, I'm planning on having a lot more, I guess, fun with the with this level of masking. There we go. And I think that's all of it. So this is one side. I think that's a little too contiguous of a black. I'm gonna have to break up the black. Actually, I'll show you real quickly. So that's what we got right now. The stuff that is blue will remain orange. the stuff that is now orange will become black. However, I just see this almost like this complete pathway down. I think I want to break that up a little bit. Let's see. All sounds could be introvert, but her level of extrovert encompasses more than my wife's, who's an introvert. Yeah, maybe that could be. I think I'm going to break it up right here. Combine these two areas here. So I don't want it to be like a complete pathway all the way down. Bigger blobs, too small and stripy is why you're thinking they're not so great. They're not so great. Yeah. I could do more blobby type of thing. Yeah. I'm okay with the stripiness of it. In fact, I think a lot of it is going to be kind of stripy. So I'm okay with that. Looking at what I've already laid down. I know that a calico has more blobbiness to it probably. But then again, looking at some of those, there we go. Interesting. Yeah, kind of like that. That broke it up quite nicely. I'll go right up top here and just push this in to create more of a pointy look. How much time? Oh, I got plenty of time. I love it. Well, half hour. One can call half hour plenty of time. Yeah, it is. No question, Ray. I think you're right. I think it's becoming more stripy, and like I said, that's why I'm saying this might end up looking more tigerish than it might than otherwise. But that's all right. That's all right too. I think we're going to break that up right there, though. In the end, it's just about getting the right camel kind of finish, but that's okay. It's just tree now. Happy little treats. Exactly. Yeah. Right. Thank you. Because that's exactly it. It's like, look, construction, my brain works on construction, generally speaking. This kind of stuff, my brain really struggles with. Not going to lie. Right. I want to do a little bit more of that there. Give me 1 second. There we go. And then I'll put something right there. Okay. All right. That I'm not going to do any more on that side. That's done. I'm going to rotate this if I can without colliding with anything. Start masking. I'm going to start on this side and start working my way around. It was more striped than a regular calico, almost like tabby mix. Yeah. Who knows? Maybe this will be tabby mix. We'll see. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I mean, I'm totally digging on this thing. so far. You know, it's like Ray just said, I think it's the happy little trees thing, because I have no idea what this is going to look like when it's done, because my brain still can't fathom that blue is going to be orange, orange is going to be black. I continue to have to remind myself of that. Oops. No, you're going to have to stick there. Not really. Happy little trees. When I think back to working on the Spartan, one of the things that I think worked well on the Spartan was that there were a number of there were two things. There were accidents that did happen that were like, okay, that worked out better than I thought. And there were also places where I planned and things failed. And I finally just said, you know what? Fuck it. Just do it. And just like plowed through. I don't even know if I had a plan going through to execute to something. And then suddenly it's like, well, that came out good. Painting layers makes my brain hurt. Yeah. I'm actually trying to get better at this because my hope is to do a rainbow tank army at some point. All of the tanks, kind of like if you guys remember the ZTQ-15 that I did, the blue, dark brown, grayish color. I want to replicate that across the entire rainbow colors and do literally a rainbow tank army with different camo features. Maybe trying different types of camo, not just the hard line type of stuff like this, but maybe trying airbrushing to give it a softer transition point. Also, trying maybe block camo, But yeah, when do you think the black will be painted? It's going to likely get painted on Wednesday night, would be my guess. Nick, it really depends on right now I've got a good start. I got about another 20 minutes before I have to bail here. It depends on when I get home on the evenings and how I'm feeling. I'm going to go right here now. How I'm feeling in terms of just working on something like this. The other thing is, look, as much as I love doing this, by the time I get pretty late in the day, like last night, my daughter and I started watching something and I crashed out hard. I slept through 2 complete episodes of The Queen's Gambit. Yeah, digital camo. Yeah, exactly. So if everything goes well, then I might be able to work on getting things done maybe tomorrow night. I don't know. Right now, just looking at the way I'm laying this stuff down is a little different from how I was laying down the orange, the camo for orange. You can mount up your putty and use it for a softer edge. Yeah, I know you can kind of just leave it sort of like a little bit more like a snake on top. Yeah. And that will feather things in a little bit more. And frankly, Ray, that might have happened. I don't know. Until we lift the masking off, not gonna know. I like Anna Toit-LaJoy. Yeah, she's fabulous in that show. All right, we're gonna try to go a little bit. I'm gonna go a little fatter here, I think. the understanding that the front here is going to be, again, it's going to be flipping this around. I don't want this to be as much black. Kind of go in there a little bit. There we go. Come on. Oh, man. I guess that's a good sign that this stuff doesn't necessarily want to stick very easily to the surface. That means when I lift this stuff, it shouldn't run. I should not run into problems. All right. Interesting how she was born in the States but grew up in South America, I believe. Oh, did she? I did not know that. She appeared in in Emma, which is probably one of my favorite films of the last 5 years. She was the whole cast, the storytelling, the music, all of it. She was fabulous in that. Let's see. She's great in The Menu. I haven't seen The Menu. Hey, Mike, good morning. How are you? Mike, sorry I didn't get back to you last night. It was like a long day, but sounds like BayCon was a good time. And a Gundam won Best of Show. Huh. That's kind of fascinating. I just saw that quick little bit. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. What's going on, Dwayne? I'm going to fatten these things up a little bit. Leave that one like that, but this one over here. Yo, OG. Yo, Peter, what's up, man? It's not a great day. Love hanging out and not. Oh, it was a great day. Love not venting. Yeah. Maybe there'll be more of that in the future, right, Mike? Actually, not a dark comedy. It's more of a quiet thriller. Good week, nice holiday, and the clocks are adjusted. Adjusted for the better for you, is it? Okay, we're going to split off here. Oh, man. Got a whole side on this thing still to do. We even had dinner afterwards with Linda and Rude and a couple of guys from GrandaCon. Oh, really? Who were the guys? Was it that's a crew to be hanging out with. I love Linda and Rue. They're great people. They're just really good, fun people to hang out and talk with. I'm here, so it's better. Dark mornings are not the best for me. I hear you, brother. Hey, Mike. Good morning. Forest Ghost in the house. I think we are going to do just that right there. Bring those two together like so. There we go. How's this going to look? No idea. All right, that side I think is done. Rotate. So as you get to the point where the angle of this thing is going to get harder and harder. Mike. I think it was the president. I'm horrible with names, and his buddy Lee. The president is Bob Magina. What's up, Ken? Last day of vacation. Oh, that sucks. Did you do anything fun over the vacation, Mike, or just kind of just hung around the house? I shouldn't say fun because actually hanging around the house could be fun. Did you go out and do anything? Maybe that's the better way of putting it. Ooh, Mike. Ooh. Hung around the house and caught up on stuff. Man, it takes me long. Man, it makes me long for retirement. Amen to that. 6 years and 11 months for me, Mike. And you better believe I'm counting it down. I feel like a kid. You know, a kid says, I'm 4 3/4. You know, that kind of thing. That's how I'm doing it right now, except the opposite way, counting down. I wish YouTube would fix the name thing. Yep, agreed. This guy also worked at a haunted woods place during October, if that helps. I don't know who that is. He seemed to be very much involved with the club and judging. The only guy I know who I thought, so what's his name? The guy who has a YouTube channel, Sprues and Brews. He lives in the Salem area, if I'm correct, and he does do, you know, like ghost tours and stuff like that. But I'm not sure if he's a member of the club or not. He might be. He might be. He doesn't strike me as the kind of guy who would necessarily hang out with modelers afterward. His name's Hank. Damn good builder. I'll bring it down this way. Having a hard time seeing this thing from this side now. It means I got to pick this thing up. Oh, I'm torquing on this thing like crazy now, too. Give me a second, guys. Sorry. Okay. How's the kitty coming? Masking hell, but in a good way. Let's see. Sorry, guys. Curse you. I'm still 15 years away. Well, that's because I'm older. You sure you want to wish that on yourself? Yeah, it's way in the future for me too. Jealous. My friend who's 2 years younger. He's 2 months left before retirement. Yeah, good for him. I'm a minimum of 25 years out from retirement and already and ready for UT or IT. Ready for it. Yeah, I hear you, brother. What's retirement? Live paycheck to. Hey, Robert. Good morning, by the way. How are you? I think he is also a classic member. Definitely lives in New Hampshire. I'll ask Linda. New Hampshire member. Interesting. Yeah, I'm kind of curious as to who that might be. Come on. Rotate. Thank you. There you go. I think I want to cover a lot of this too. Just like that. Yeah. That's a little more blobby. That'll be good. It seems like your stream moved to 6 p.m. Hey, Edwin. It did. We had daylight savings yesterday. How much longer the days seem when you don't have to commute back and forth and put in 8 hours of work. Yeah. Try living spotlight to spotlight. Yeah. Yeah. I'm tired. My cat doesn't understand daylight savings. Of course they don't. Of course they don't, because it's a human construct. He doesn't retire, but he gets a pension and his medical is covered for the rest of his. Yeah, exactly. See? Government service, it pays until it doesn't. Until you have an administration that wants to destroy it. Let's see. Sometimes working for the government has its benefits. Yep. My 7 a.m. furry alarm became a 6 a.m. There you go. See, it gives you the opportunity to join us now, Robert. I know you'll know him. He mentioned talking to a lot of people recently about, well, you know, the topic. That's fine. Topic is fine. Oh, crap. Hold it a second, guys. Hey, Zell, yeah. You probably need the stuff, don't you? Yeah. Guys, give me 1 second. Laundry. Yeah, it's everything in the dryer itself. Yep. Okay. All right. Let's see. Lee. I think I know who Lee is. What did he? God. It's starting to dawn on me a little bit about who Lee might be. Give me a second, guys. There we go. All right, here we go. Sorry about that. Let me plow through here a little bit. I got a pension, a 401k, but the merger my company is going through is going to bar me from my healthcare coverage. Yay! I hate mergers. My sister was laid off from Paramount a number of years ago now. And, as they were downsizing for Paramount's a fuck up. And the recent acquisition by Ellison's company, Skydance, they just laid off a bunch more people, like 1,000. They got more people coming. Yeah. Corporations and mergers, they don't give a shit about people. Let's just be honest. That's why I missed the stream from a few days. Yeah, but I also went out for the past few days to Pet Expo, and character creation work. Pets? What kind of pets? I live a quarter mile at a time. It's also challenging. Nice. Spotlight the spotlight. I do like that. Sometimes we don't have to live paycheck to paycheck if we don't enjoy stuff. I think a thing for a lot of government jobs, they're all union based. Yes, agreed. I don't know about they're all union based. Many of them are. There we go. My one fear that I've completely spaced out on here is that I'm applying putty onto the bead welds, excuse me. I am hoping I did not destroy any of them. Something tells me I'm going to be lifting a few of them up. They don't get the benefits of comments on mergers and whether or not they should be allowed as frequently as they are, but that's a Thursday topic. Yeah, I'm totally in your favor on that one. Not it being a Thursday topic. I just agree with you. I think the days we're going back to the concept of monopolies being okay, and that I don't agree with. Monopolies are not good. Sorry, guys. Let me get in here for a second. Got that one. And I think this might be the last one I laid down here. And this side will be a little bit more black centric, which is fine. Yeah, I'm just going to do a little bit right down here at the bottom just to give it a little blurb, a blip up. And then at least I think when I finish today, I'll have a good start. There we go. Okay. How's it looking? Looking pretty good. We'll see when paint's done. Anyway, that's what we got right now, guys. I'll just show you real quickly. Let's see. By the way, they don't get the benefits. I know this guy is not a fan of how things are done with the main IPMS chapter down East Con. Oh, I think I know a couple of those people. There's one of the things with the main club is it has to be plastic. It's like if there's too much metal on it, you're getting dinged. It's like, ooh, that's interesting. Anything non-plastic gets you dinged. Again, what's interesting about all of this in the conversation and context of what's been going on with our chapter is that every club has its own rules. Nothing wrong with that. Competition lowers prices and improves products. Lowers prices and improves products. If you say so, yes, it does. In theory, I agree. Don't go to Expo. Put the money in the bank. Hey, look, your savings. Nice. Manchester, New Hampshire this weekend. A reptile expo. Sorry about that. I'm tempted to go. Go. So mom want a turtle. Your mother wants a turtle and you want a scorpion. Cool. Go to the important expos like PACON. Oh, stop. Anyway, that's what we got. And we're going to see how it looks. I have no idea. I like the way it's coming out so far. We'll see what happens when we get the black paint laid down. So, as I said, I wanted about 60-40 orange to black. And I think we're hitting there. So I'm going to rotate this thing, loosen, pull out. It is getting harder and harder to rotate this thing. And then tomorrow or tonight, what do we got there? I will start masking this side and just continue to work my way around. If I can get the body done tonight, by the end of tonight, I think I'm going to be in a good place to get paint on this thing on Wednesday night. We'll see. But there's just a lot of work left to do. This is the worst of it. The legs are the second worst. And then the rest of the stuff kind of flows pretty easily. Arms are going to be a little bit much. But I think in general, this is kind of working out fine so far. We'll see. In theory, it's supposed to be, if it doesn't happen. A good example of all the stupid insurance companies here. Prices not improved and services stale. Yet independent insurance companies are popping up yet. So yes. Oh, I totally agree. Single payer, anyone? Its time has come because this is not acceptable. But we built a business model and now it's going to force us to have that. But that's, again, Thursday conversation. Guys, stay safe and stay sane. Thanks for being on this morning. I do appreciate it. Good conversations all around. And thank you for being on the ride here. We'll see how this comes out. You know, I'm hoping it comes out as good as I expect it's going to. We shall see. I'll see you later. Have a good Roto Springs. Oh, you guys are going to Roto Springs. Yeah. Have a good ice cream for me, Mike. Later, fellows. Later, everybody. All right, guys, do good. Enjoy the day as much as you can. And at the same time, because this world is getting nastier, go out there and continue to brighten it the same way you do here. Bring good conversation, good joy into things, and just treat people with respect. That's it. Do good, enjoy, guys, and I will see you on the flip. Peace.